Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. This is Courtney, the Marketing Coordinator here at AIM. Today's webinar is going to be recorded and later posted on our website. This does mean that all attendees are automatically muted so that we can get a quality recording. If you do have any questions throughout the webinar, go ahead and put them in the chat box, and we will go ahead and try to answer those during the webinar. But if we run out of time, we'll have a member of our marketing team give you a call to follow up with that answer. Our next upcoming webinar is next Wednesday, February 15th at 9 a.m. Pacific, and it will be presented by Mike Anderson and CSG's Anna Patrick on our multi-carrier quoting tool. So with that, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Mike so that we can get started. Go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Courtney. Morning, everybody. Appreciate you making your time available, and especially appreciate Amanda Blackburn, who's a brokerage health sales director that we work with for Mutual of Omaha's long-term care line, and Deborah Giroux. Deborah's I believe the title's claims director, and nod your head if that's correct, Deborah. Okay, yeah, that is the title. Yeah. For Mutual of Omaha, we've had Deborah on some presentations before. We get great response. She does a fantastic job, and the reason, plenty of reasons to do this, but I noticed when I was looking at some of a presentation she did a few weeks ago that there had been a lot of changes in the process as a result of that thing from so long ago, COVID. And it seemed like this was a good time to take a look at how the processes had changed and some of the other things along the way. So Deborah was very gracious in making her time available. With that said, I'm going to let her take the microphone and step out of the way. And again, if you have questions, just key them in the chat box, and we'll try to get them along the way, and then we'll have some time at the end, open mic time for questions. So take it away, Deborah.
I like the open mic time. Thanks, Mike. And Amanda, thanks so much for arranging this. It's my pleasure to speak with all of you today. And I hope that I get a chance to meet you at the LTCI conference in Denver in about another month. It's my first conference for long-term care. Very excited. I'm not new to insurance. I was with a former company for 23 years, and I want to share this story because this is sort of a story of courage and how much I love Mutual of Omaha and I love the product. So I was with my former company, happy, moving up the career path, and I get a call about this position, the claim director position, open at Mutual of Omaha. So I was born and raised in the state of Maine, and I'm standing in my yard and I'm getting a call from Mutual of Omaha. I've never been to Nebraska. Wasn't really quite sure exactly geographically where it resided on the United States map. But fast forward, I took a leap of faith. I said yes. I moved from Maine to Omaha, and then COVID hit 6 months later. So then I moved back to Maine. And why I'm sharing that story is that I never have ever regretted it once. It has been a fantastic journey, and I'm very pleased with the work that we've accomplished here at Mutual of Omaha, and to share that with you. There's still a lot of work to be done, but what I'm most proud of in the 3.5 years I've been here is that, we are really trying to advance our modernization efforts. And by that meaning, we know we have to make it easier for our customers to file a claim, to get status updates, and we are making strides towards those advancements. So I'll get started on my PowerPoint presentation, but certainly at any time I'm happy to ask questions. What I would like to share with you is I feel like Mutual of Omaha is different than other carriers is because if you have a concern or you want special attention made on any particular customer, call Amanda. She's going to reach out to me, and let me tell you, it will be done. I take a sense of urgency very seriously, and I don't know if you can actually get that with other competitors. You can have my name, my email address, and Amanda definitely knows where to find me. I commit to you that I'm probably online. I have a strong work ethic and a strong will to satisfy our customers, and obviously put Mutual of Omaha in the forefront of your minds. So we are definitely here for you. And today I'm going to cover a little bit about our organization, the number of people we have on staff, and why we truly are set apart from our industry competitors. So I'm a director. I report directly up to Maureen Griffin, who is the vice president. And the great thing about Maureen is not only is she a vice president of income and wealth planning, which has multiple product lines underneath her, she was also a practicing trial attorney and nurse practitioner. So she is a wealth of information and knowledge. Under me, I have 3 supervisors, and their span of control is approximately 10 benefit claim specialists. So we have 30 benefit claim specialists. In addition, I do have 4 nurses reporting to me because our nurses are instrumental with us deciphering the medical records that we do receive. You can contact us first name dot last name at mutualofomaha.com. A little bit about our organization. It's not huge, but the folks that we do have are very well tenured. And we recently lost a benefit claim specialist at the end of December. She wanted to stay home. She expanded her family. And while we were, sad to lose this individual, in 2 days, I had over 300 applications and for one position. And we just filled it with someone who has 5 years of claims experience. And what appealed to her was our culture and our ability to hire full-time remote. We are all able to work remote. I am going into the office on occasion to support leadership and attend functions, but I'm able to hire benefit claim specialists to work remotely. That is absolutely appealing to them right now. Now that they've had a little taste of working from home, they want to stay at home. We also have our licensed RNs that go through certifications. They also can act as care coordinators. A little bit about what they can do. So they'll offer, a medical opinion on the information that is submitted, whether the person does meet activities of daily living or a cognitive impairment. What they also will do if you have customers who are looking to have information about where they can get durable medical equipment, they're looking at companionship, agencies in the area, give the nurses a call. They're happy to assist our clients, even pre-claim, on any items that are in their area. A good example is if someone wants to provide a safety check in their home, they're going to start with grab bars. Our nurses can provide them with information on how to coordinate with Medicare in getting those grab bars that Medicare would cover and getting them installed into their home. So it's not all necessarily about being on claim, but it's about our nurses are available to our customers if they need support. They also can provide the qualified reassessments. So all qualified plans will state you need to be recertified every year. Instead of us going to the customer's doctor, our nurses will do it internally. And then our call center, we established a call center a couple of years ago. We felt as though we wanted our call centers not to work off of turnaround time, how quick they can get in and off the phone. It's the opposite with long-term care. Our call center provides education to our customers who purchased policies 20 and 30 years ago. A lot of times they may say, can you just mail me a copy of our policy and then we'll review it and ask questions. We're not sure if we're ready to file a claim or not. Our call center can certainly assist you with that. And very proud of our marketing material. I hope that you have seen this marketing material. If not, Amanda can point you in the direction. We have claims collateral that explains your role in the long-term care process, our statistics, which are always fun to hear, how the policy works. So these are, you leave with customers, but it really is information that I use when we onboard a new hire. For me, it's very important to our new hires to show what literature they have already received and what promises we're making to our customers up front. Some of the stories that we recently revised, very proud of. Each of these stories is about a real customer. We've changed their name for protections purposes, but it really gives you an opportunity to see our variations of products that we offer. We have someone that went on hospice and their elimination period was waived, and we were immediately able to issue their benefit without minimum, information and medical information. We really do like to issue those checks on people that are close to passing or have passed away very quickly so we can put the closure for that family. And then we offer, adult daycare, home health care. Cash benefit seems to be quite popular these days. Cash benefit allows someone to not satisfy their elimination period, but if they later change and they want to receive nursing home, skilled, or home health care, they would need to satisfy that elimination period. So cash gives people the flexibility to spend the money how they wish. And then we do have people that recover. So looking at, those shorter elimination periods, if someone had a knee surgery and their condition is likely to last greater than 90 days, that shorter elimination period does come into play where she could get partial benefits. So I hope that you have an opportunity to read some about our customer story and the benefits that they utilized. Just some contact information I'll put up on the screen. If you ever have any questions, really call us and we're happy to send you claim forms. I'm in the process right now of getting claim forms on our Mutual of Omaha website so people can download them. One of the features that we are offering. And people always say, how can I help? How can we, avoid roadblocks? It's really the difference of explaining to your customer what are instrumental activities of daily living and activities of daily living. And instrumental activities are probably something that we all want to have in our home. I want to have someone come in and do the cooking and the cleaning and run errands for me. I would love that. That'd be a great policy, right? To like have someone come in, but but our policies don't cover that. So it's very important when a customer calls in that they're not blindsided, because we don't want those frustrating situations where a customer says, no one ever told me. We want to say, I understand, I'm not meeting right now, but I may be meeting in the future if my disease progression continues. Also, we want claims early. We want to educate on the elimination period, which is that unpaid period of time. We still do see elimination periods 90 and 100 days, and that's certainly a financial burden for someone to have to wait. I know that they chose that policy, and hopefully they have financial savings to cover that period of time. But it's important, again, to reiterate, this is an elimination period. Generally, it's consecutive days. It could be service days, but really to remind them of that. And one thing that I think I was on my soapbox last year on Medicare because I was working with my mother who just moved into independent living, and she really had no understanding of Medicare other than she knows she needs to choose into a benefit every year. But when I showed her what Medicare covers, she couldn't believe it. I said, Mom, you've paid into this, 1.45% all of your life. They do provide you with some items, and here's how you get those items. And Medicare has a quick toll-free number. It really encouraged your customers saying, this is what Medicare pays for. When they call in and they're asking for those same items, we unfortunately would have to communicate that would need to go to Medicare first. And no one wants to hear that. You come ready to file a claim and then you get turned away and having to go somewhere else. That's not putting our best foot forward. So we want to educate on what potentially they could cover. And
hey, Deborah?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Mike. Sorry to interrupt, but explain a little bit, because I've been called some really creative hyphenated combinations of words specific to this, but touch real quick, if you would, about the non-duplication of benefits clause that's in the policy and how that basically determines what's going to happen with regard to Medicare and such.
Yeah, that's a great one, because Medicare, we see that quite a bit, especially on people that have passed away. Anyone that has been hospitalized, the first question is if they go into a skilled, Medicare is going to cover that and we won't. And that's another thing that it's one of the other. So that is a question, again, sort of knowing, we know that Medicare is going to cover right after a hospitalization into a skilled. So we will not cover it. So there is a non-duplication clause in the policies. We're going to ask that question on items that we know Medicare would cover. And again, we want to eliminate the frustration of them not knowing about that. Mike, I hope I answered your question.
That was perfect. Run into it a couple of times, and folks don't realize that a lot of the stuff that they got told about during the sales presentation with regard to long-term care actually falls into the Medicare auspices. And from the agent standpoint, you could pretty much factor in the idea that Medicare is going to be a big part of the process. if your client's over 65. Okay.
Absolutely.
So just be aware, read the policy, and you'll be amazed at what you learn. So, all right.
You know, it's very important. No, but well, I mean, it's important to know what Medicare covers, but that's why long-term care is so important. Medicare stops, and then that's where I'm like, thank you that they have long-term care coverage. And I will endorse Medicare.gov does have, it's a 100-page manual. However, it is the best 100-page manual I have ever come across. It is actually very user-friendly, and there is a section on what Medicare will cover. So you could easily pull out that page and share it and say, you know, this is what we use. This is, you know, we train our individuals on Medicare, and I use that document. And so, you know, there's no gray area with Medicare. There's 800 number, and this is what they cover, and then we know we can pay. The claims process. Someday we are going to be able to have online, but in the interim, we still require, you know, the claim form, and we have to gather information. So the more information we know about the customer's story, the better. And that's what our benefit claim specialists will uncover. It's the who, what, where, when, why. They are writing a newspaper article. What led up to you filing a claim? You know, a trip, a fall. Every claim is so very different, and there's not a day that I don't hear a story that it just kind of pushes me back in my chair. I'm like, wow, you know, our aging population is active. And, you know, so we still see some. We had a workers' compensation claim today, you know, 54-year-old. So something I used to see in the disability world, I'm seeing in the long-term care world. So, you know, gathering the story, gathering the claim forms. I encourage, if you want to act on behalf of your customer, please sign that third-party authorization. That way we can have a two-way conversation. If we don't have that signed, we're not able to share information back and forth with you. We know you want to advocate for your customer, and so do we, but we do certainly abide by the Privacy Protection Act. And each benefit claim specialist owns their own block of claims. And so their claims are made up of new claims and ongoing claims. Every day we have a new claim triage. Every single new claim that comes in, we look at it. And that includes myself, a supervisor, the benefit claim specialist, and a nurse. And we look at it, and we look at the policy and make a determination. And then the benefit claim specialist owns the communication to our customers. If we can't make a decision and we need further information, we will certainly request it, but we hope by the time it goes to our daily triage that we're able to make a decision. Our decision time has slowly decreased over the last couple of years. We're still a little bit higher, industry average, however, working on it very diligently. So on average, we try to make decisions between 30 and 45 days. What can hold that up is that HIPAA authorization. If we can't get that HIPAA authorization back, we can't order medical records. We're not doing in-home assessments any longer, so we rely more heavily on the medical record and records speaking to the evidence on if someone is truly having a functional loss. I'll pause there if anybody has any questions. Okay, what happens if we don't accept a claim? So we actually consider it twofold. So if we don't accept a claim and someone sends in new information, we don't consider that an appeal, we consider that a reconsideration. Does the new information allow us to overturn or uphold the decision? If we do not approve the claim and someone disagrees, then it would go to an appeal. And that is assigned to an independent person who's a lead specialist who will do a thorough review from start to finish and come to a conclusion. And if the conclusion is to overturn or uphold the decision, depends on the next step. So if we overturn the decision, it goes back to the benefit claim specialist for approval and monitoring for ongoing. If we still don't approve it, it then will go to a second level and final appeal with a new person as well. Love statistics. 1987 was our first policy sold, and we're continuing to grow. We continue to add head staff every year. Our blocks are growing. You know, sales are positive, so thank you. $11 million each month. And still women, need it more than men. Women need it more than men. Average age in our block is 78. It's gone down a couple of years. Our youngest is 46. We've got 2 customers that are 104 years old. Our oldest claim is due to a heart condition, and she lives at home. And she filed the claim at 99 years of age. And most people still do want to remain in their home, followed by assisted living and a nursing home. Some industry trends, the need just continues to grow. The sons and the daughters are so thankful their parents bought something, because as we all know, sons and daughters do not live in the same states anymore with their parents. In my case, mine came back to live with me. I'm not sure why. So I'm hoping they take care of me someday. And we are seeing some staffing shortages. Adults are returning to work. Medical conditions definitely appear to be more severe at the onset. I see that more in our policies pre-2004. And subjectively, I am thinking that that could be related to not going to the doctors as frequently during COVID. And again, we paused on those benefit eligibility in-home assessments really due to COVID, but also found more success with reviewing medical evidence records from someone that knows them versus a one-time assessment. Some of our upcoming 2023, I continue to do presentations. I want to be out there supporting Amanda. Anything that you need from a claims perspective, count me in. We also are going to be launching a few customer testimonial videos where our customers will speak on behalf of their claims experience, and we will make that available for you to share with potential customers. We are starting to move claims on one cloud-based new claim system. So that is very exciting for us. Right now we use 2 systems. I want everything under one shop. So this is a couple of years in the making, trying to select a vendor and a platform. We are starting to move claims onto that single platform, which will give us a whole robust of new features. We will have direct deposit across the board for all of our customers rather than just our newer policies. It'll enhance the online portal. So we're very excited, and more to come about our new claim system. We also have signed a standard operating agreement and overall agreement with a vendor who will be helping us with aging while in place, pre-claim intervention, and we are offering that on all existing long-term care customers. That should be launched, I would say, in April. We just purchased the URL, and just working out the press release. You'll hear more about this exciting partnership with this vendor. Again, our customers can call in and read articles about aging well in place, how they can navigate if they need to purchase a ramp or buy a ramp. There'll be vendors to select from for a discounted price. So very exciting initiative this year. And then certainly strengthening our advisor network. Attending the LTC conference as part of that, strengthening the network, continue to work with Amanda and team, updating any marketing materials, and making it known about how the customers can experience the claims from start to finish. And a little bit about why we're here. We want to receive great feedback from our customers. Sometimes we don't receive great feedback. And a little bit more about this year, I've implemented our customer satisfaction surveys. So now when a customer calls in, a survey will be sent a few days later, and we get feedback. And the feedback is really about how is their perception during the call. And the feedback has been really telling us the real story. And what I really like about this feedback is it gives us an opportunity to make any corrective action and move through the process and coach our associates to perform epic customer service. We also do a feedback loop, so we connect back with the customer and let them know that we are reading every single part of their feedback. And we can't fix everything, but we are storing all of that information, and very proud that this so far has been very good for us to hear this. and know what our customers receive firsthand. You know, whether it's hold times are too long, can't get a hold of someone, we want to hear it. So again, starting to move in the right motion of, you know, getting a baseline, and then we can only improve from there. And just another sample letter. It's a little blurry, but I always am very astonished when a customer can actually write out a letter, you know, when they're dealing with so much. I keep a voice of the customer log, and it really is our pleasure. I mean, it's what we're here for. It's our privilege to serve the customers. So this to me goes above and beyond anything we could ever hope for. People should have this experience every time. So, and if they don't, again, you know, we want to know about it. And thank you. This concludes my PowerPoint. I don't know if there's further questions, Mike or Amanda.
I did handle a couple while you were delivering that information, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and open it up. And again, thank you for the time. And before I open it up, I'm just going to throw something out there from my perspective. And what I'm going to say is not something Deborah's not familiar with, because she's actually interacted with me. I've interacted with her more on a consulting basis with regard to active claims than getting right in there, and mostly coaching me so I had a better idea and a better understanding so that I could coach the agents. And it's important to remember that your client has a contract between them and Mutual of Omaha, and you as the agent facilitated that contract. So just sort of standing there and pointing them towards Mutual of Omaha metaphorically, probably not the best way to serve them, because once you get into this, you're not going to be able to answer questions that they're going to have. So, and Deborah will tell you that Mutual, you know, to a degree, they encourage agents to be involved because they want the process to work for everybody, and it does work for everybody. As I said, I've worked with a couple of the supervisors that were on the list of supervisors on some cases, on a different case. Again, consulted with Deborah, and it was great information for me, just kind of in a context situation, and it made it much easier for me to explain to the agent why it was going down a particular path. So great people, great resources. Now, I'm going to go ahead and unmute folks. I would ask you, if you don't plan to ask a question, to go ahead and individually mute yourself so we don't have the dog barking at the Amazon delivery guy or the tea kettle whistling or any one of a number of different things that we bump into, let's just say, by way of interruption. So let's click this. All right, and it looks like most everybody has themselves self-muted, but we do have, you know, we got the call bank open and available for folks to ask questions, so fire away. Quick reminder, I know that Courtney covered this for our next webinar. We do them on Wednesdays. It's amazing how consistent we are in that way. Next Wednesday, and we also do it at 9 a.m. Pacific time every week to make it as easy as we can for folks. We are going to be spending some time looking at the CSG multi-carrier quote tool with Anna Patrick from CSG. So if you're working both on the long-term care side and the Medicare Medicare Advantage side, that's going to be one that you want to put some time into as well. So, well, we're not getting any questions and not getting any hands up, Deborah. This is what we call a long-term care no-hitter, or a webinar no-hitter, because you answered all the questions along the way, and I love it when that happens. The marketing team, Don, myself, Derek, we will be following up with everybody during the course of the day today to make sure if you have other questions that we can get those taken care of and help you keep moving down the path. I've said it a lot of times, long-term care, and some of this factors in with the work that Deborah and the claims team does. The visibility and the awareness of long-term care has never been higher than it is right now. These payroll tax initiatives that are bubbling up in states are, you know, keeping that, making it happen. But you as agents need to focus on the idea now, 2023, 2024, et cetera. It's the time for what they call courageous conversation. Okay, rather than waiting for someone to come running towards you needing long-term care because they just found out they were diagnosed with a significant health condition, what you want to be doing is reaching out to people in your orbit and talking to them about this, because they know who you are and they know what you do. And you may find out they're actually surprised that you have not engaged them with regard to long-term care. And if you wait, sometimes it ends up being a situation where you wait too long. You don't want to have that happen. So anyway, that was just my little soapbox moment there. Appreciate you letting me do that, Deborah. So go ahead. I know you want to say something in closing, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap everything up. So go ahead.
Hey, Mike, this is Amanda. As Deborah's going to wrap up here shortly, I just wanted to thank everyone at AIM and Deborah for taking the time to jump on the line. As both Deborah and you have alluded to, it's an exciting time right now, just in that we have a real opportunity with long-term care and having those conversations. Deborah spoke about a lot of the marketing pieces that we have. I'm hearing from a lot of folks in the field that they're utilizing those within their own sales process, and that's working really well. So please do take a look at that and let Deborah and myself know how we can help you incorporate this discussion into your sales process. I think that it's going to help you make more sales, and everyone at AIM, everyone here at Mutual of Omaha are advocates for you and here to support those efforts. So again, thanks for having us on and coordinating this, Mike and Courtney. We appreciate it. Deborah, I'll turn it over
Deborah,
to you.
Looked like you were getting ready to say something. So
Well, I was so excited because I'm not an agent, but honestly, I did find that during COVID, I would hope that people had conversations with their loved one on what ifs. And that, to me, if I were out there, I would say, what did that conversation look like? Because I certainly had it with my parents, like what if? And again, my mother moved into an independent living, but she now, you know, we didn't have a plan before COVID, but that's a conversation. It's my pleasure. Please reach out to Amanda if you have any questions. Mike, really my pleasure to join all of you today.
Well, fantastic. We loved having you on board. We'll try to circle around and do this more frequently than every 3 years. How's that? So anyway.
Gold.
Great.
All right, great.
Thanks, Mike.
Deborah, you and I will be talking again Friday on
Yes.
another or in another area. Thank you. We'll see you then. Everybody that's on the call, we appreciate you making your time available. We will be in touch here over the course of the rest of the day. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and say thanks. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye now.
Bye-bye.